Hi, I'm Janelle. Welcome back to the Inspiring Weight TV channel. I usually share a bit of styling, fashion, beauty, and a bit of lifestyle stuff. And in this video, I really wanted to share with you something that I didn't think I'd have time to share. I'm currently 40 weeks and 5 days pregnant, and I honestly didn't think that I'd have this bonus time to record anything else. So I wanted to make the most of it and talk about pregnancy style and trying to work out what the heck to wear, because even as someone who works kind of in this industry of fashion and styling, it can be so challenging to work out what on earth to wear, and it changes month to month, week to week. Like, it really does. It's a lot to try and figure out. And if you want to kind of find yourself within there or keep yourself within that with your style, it can be really, really challenging. So if I can give to anyone who needs it a little bit of insight into how I found my style through pregnancy this time, then I think that is just a gift that I would just love to give you. And I had my daughter 3 years ago. So with my first pregnancy, that was like what, 4 years ago. I found this time around I didn't want to wear necessarily all of the same things, and I saved some things to wear this pregnancy, and when it came down to it, I did not want to wear it again. I did not feel good. I didn't like, some of these things, and I put them straight into the pile to sell or donate or give away to someone else. So it really can change. But what I wanted to share here is kind of a pregnancy wardrobe capsule. So I've got key things that I think are great to invest in, whether that's financially or just affordable versions that are going to get you through a few months at a time. They don't have to be the most expensive things, and actually I personally did not want to spend a lot of money on my pregnancy wardrobe. But I think these things are great staples to have, so you can put different looks together, and a lot of them will go through your entire pregnancy, which is amazing. And some of them are things that you can wear again later. So in terms of investing, I just don't love wearing something once or twice and then throwing it away, or having to never wear it again. I like to find things that are going to be really versatile and be worn as much as possible. So I hope that you find this really helpful. If this sounds like something you need, then keep watching. The first trimester. Now, obviously, depending on if it's your first pregnancy or your subsequent ones, your bump can come in at all different times. Some people get bloated initially, and then that makes them feel bigger. And then there's other people who, before you've shared your news, you might have a small bump, but it could also just look like you're bloated. So that is a tricky one to navigate, because you might want to hide it, especially some people don't want to share at work to the greater workplace too soon. And you're sort of feeling self-conscious because you feel like you just look bloated, you don't look pregnant yet. That is a really tricky one to navigate. So if you're finding that you've gotten to that stage, you're not alone. That is really a tough, awkward period. And some people, it might be, when you're first pregnant for the first time, it might be quite confronting. I found it quite confronting to have this bump out of nowhere that I hadn't shared yet. And I was like, I felt awkward, because, I was like, well, how do I hide this? What do I do? And during that first pregnancy, there was a time period where like a swing dress was really popular. So I wore a lot of really loose cut swing dresses, and that was great. I definitely think that helped me to get away with, even when we had an appointment with our broker, and I hadn't shared that I was pregnant yet. I remember wearing that swing dress and being like, he can't tell I'm pregnant. We're not going to bring it up. you never know, you know, what's going to happen, whatnot. But I was like, he doesn't need to know yet. And that was like, yeah. So that, for example, did come in handy. But having said that, this pregnancy, I did not want to wear a swing dress, like at all. I think I tried one on one of the older ones that I had from the first pregnancy. And my daughter actually said, no, that's not right. She made me take it off. And that's when I put it in the pile to sell, because it just didn't feel like where I was at this time around. I think instead, this time around, early on, I would wear something that, I think because it was more winter time, it was easier to wear something that like had like a jumper that was loose or tucked in, and it kind of pulled out, tucked in, and that helped to kind of disguise that there was a bit of a bump there. And this not being my first pregnancy, my bump came in much quicker as well. So I look back at my Instagram, for example, and I can see, so I probably was 3 months in, and you can see in the photos, if you look from a certain angle, that I definitely was showing a little bit, or even wearing a pair of pants that have like a paper bag waist, so they're sort of looser at the top. That can disguise the bump a little bit in that initial stage, but ultimately it is just tricky. If you're in that first trimester and you're trying to work out how to hide the bump, I hate to say it, but I feel like it's so dependent on each woman. So you really just have to try things on and try and find something that fits. But anything that's kind of loose and flowy or can be covered. I even wore tailored pants that had a bit more of like a gathering at the top. And then I would wear a jumper tucked in, but sort of like pulled out, tucked. That kind of hid things. Or else you might want to wear like a oversized top that's kind of cropped at the right height to hide that bump. Like, it really is just a bit of trial and error. So sorry I can't be more helpful with that one, but I think that every individual is different and every pregnancy is different, and it can be a bit experimental. And even having said that, I know that I went to an event, where was that? That was in June, so I would have been 3 months pregnant. Yeah, it would have been about 12 weeks. And I was wearing a tight fitted designer dress that the brand had given me for the event. And it was like a $900 dress or something. And somehow I fit into it, and I probably fit into it for like a week after that as well. And people couldn't quite tell. So I could tell looking down that there was a bump there, and friends that knew about it, you know, or if anyone asked, they would have been like, I'm actually pregnant. But you never know. Like, that was not a stretchy dress, that was a fitted dress, and I managed to fit into it, and didn't have like tons of people come up to me being like, oh my god, you're pregnant. So, but having said that, it did not fit me like 2 weeks later. So another look that I wore, especially in that first trimester, while I could get away with it as long as possible, were wide leg jeans. And I still kept with my higher waist ones for as long as I could. And you do that thing where you put elastic or hair tie, or you put a bit of ribbon, and you kind of, I'm doing this gesture, but tie it up across the button and through the belt, like the button loop or the belt loop, for as long as possible. And then you wear something that kind of covers that part, either a shirt that's untucked or like pulled out to cover that part, or a jumper or something. I did a lot of that to start with, and I find that if you just wear like loose, oversized shirt or top and pants, and you really just lean into that vibe, that's something that I guess helped me to get away with it a little bit longer, especially over the winter time as well, when I could then also wear an overcoat or a trench coat over the top of that. And all you were seeing is lots of fabric, lots of loose, oversized, so you weren't seeing anything tight or fitted, and it just didn't give it away. So as long as possible, I could hold out to wearing my jeans. That is what I was up to, because I love jeans personally. and I did not want to let them go. So once I started to share my news in the second trimester and share the bump a little bit more, one thing that I then lent on for the entire pregnancy, my first time around, and second time around as long as I possibly could, were slip dresses. So I'm talking about I've got a lot of silk slip dresses or else like a satin one. I find that the way that they are cut is quite often so helpful for allowing room for a bump, and a growing bump at that, to fit and not feel too tight. So I think honestly a slip dress is such a good thing to either invest in or to just wear as much as possible. I would then wear them with a trench coat over the top or a blazer, an oversized one, and yeah, again, initially sometimes that would have been enough to hide a bump, but once you get to a certain point you can really see it. And I wore a new one that I'd been wanting for a very long time and I managed to buy it off of Depop secondhand by Realization Pile when we shot our announcement for the pregnancy photos. And I love looking back at that because I'm wearing this dress that I really love. It's got this beautiful silk fabric, beautiful colour, and yeah, it just reminds me of that day. And even actually looking at the photos, we were shooting it off of the tripod and I was running back and forth through the setup, and because I was running down a set of stairs and onto the lawn, I just kicked my shoes off, not even remembering that I should put them back on for the photos. So everyone else is wearing shoes in the photos but me, which looks a bit funny because of course you can't tell that there was lawn right in front of this setup. But I feel like it's free-spirited, it's fun, it's, this one was a fairly low back dress as well, so it just feels like it was kind of like a summery mood, or a mother kind of goddessy move maybe. It was a zodiac print dress, so that kind of whole thing fit in with the vibe. But two of my favorite brands for slip dresses are Ginia Ready to Wear. So Ginia is also a lingerie sleepwear brand. So Ginia Ready to Wear is their silk ready to wear clothing, and also Silk Laundry, both Australian brands I've been wearing for many, many years. My one black slip dress that I've worn to death, that I wear as my default dress, has been really, really great during pregnancy, and I have that. That's the 90s slip dress from Silk Laundry. I've worn that so much, so much. And I have, in that same style, a lot of different prints and colours, and they are great. Again, I think it's just the way that they are cut leaves room for a bump to grow and to fit nicely without feeling too restrictive. And the silk is obviously breathable, it feels really good. It's a bit trickier to wear around a toddler though, so satin ones are also a great option. So during this pregnancy, something I did differently was to shop through Depop secondhand. So Depop is just the example of where I was shopping from, because I was selling a lot on Depop, so I would see things that I wanted to wear. But I think shopping secondhand, quite often the items were never worn, or they were worn once. But I was able to build a wardrobe of dresses in particular that I could wear throughout my pregnancy, that I could either sell later if I wanted to, or keep and wear again, because they weren't like maternity brands. They were just pieces that I loved, that I knew would fit the bump through certain stages. And I think that's a really good way to save money, be a bit more sustainable, and really have some beautiful clothes to wear. And I found some amazing pieces, so beautiful, that I will wear again later, because I just got them one size up or my normal size, and they happen to fit the bump due to the style. And yeah, I can't wait to wear them in the future as well. So if you are trying to work out what to wear and trying to budget for it, I highly recommend looking at secondhand stores or online stores, searching for something. And some of the ideas, in particular for dresses, I looked for knit dresses, and I also looked for knit dresses that had like a matching cardigan or a matching like long dress. I'll show you the example here. I actually got one from Posy, an Australian brand, and it was a strapless knitted like maxi dress, but then I also bought the button down version of the same dress, which could be worn as the button down dress, or it could be worn open as like a long cardigan over the top of the strapless dress. And I loved that look so much because it was so versatile. I could wear it 3 or 4 different ways, and I loved having that as an option. And I paid a fraction of the cost of them through Depop because someone was selling them. I don't even know if they were worn, but there was, that was just one of my favorite finds, was that look. While I'm still talking about dresses, I'm currently wearing this very, very simple ribbed t-shirt dress. There's a tank top version, I have a short sleeve t-shirt version, I have a long sleeve version, and they're similar to like a knit dress, but these are just like a cotton jersey, and I got mine from Target again. So inexpensive. I think this was probably $20, and I'm still wearing it now, and I've worn it throughout my whole pregnancy. And I think the short sleeve one was also from Target, from their Lily Loves brand if you're in Australia. But there's plenty of Place Cotton on also do them, but really, really simple. Again, that ribbed fabric gives you a lot more stretch over the bump when you need it, and they were just good for wearing around my toddler as well, because if she's around, she will put her hands on me with sticky peanut butter yogurt fingers, and I'll end up having to chuck it in the wash, and I probably, wear this once and we'll have to wash it. So it gets a lot of wear. And they still look great. They go back to stretch down to a good size. Always feel really comfortable. I get mine in black or like a dark chocolate brown or a navy or a cream, and they always feel polished, even if they feel casual. I can wear them with my sandals, my slides, my heels if I wanted to. It's not that I wore heels very much during pregnancy. So this is mainly through the 2nd and 3rd trimester. Another look that I repeated quite a bit that I bought affordably was the like pajama style pants with elastic waistband. I bought them a couple of sizes up. I got mine from Cotton On, and then I also got some linen ones from Target. So inexpensive. I think the Cotton On ones were about $15 or something per pair. The Target ones were probably $40 per pair, and because I only sized up one size and they're meant to be like a wide leg, sort of slouchy style, I know that I can wear them again later, and actually I think I'm going to be wearing them again pretty soon, postpartum. And I just styled them with all kinds of different things. I would pair them with like a bodysuit that was like a ribbed bodysuit, a tank top, a t-shirt, ribbed knit cardigans. I've used that a lot actually, especially anything that's like stretchy and ribbed is very forgiving over the bump, whether you button it up or have it loose as an extra layer. They were just great this time, and I didn't wear that sort of thing at all in my first pregnancy. And then I loved vests, and waistcoats are very in at the moment still, which is great. I love those. They're a great alternative to just a plain t-shirt if you find that a bit boring, you want to wear something a bit more polished. Target had a set of the elastic waist linen pants with a matching vest. So I got a couple of those to mix and match, and with these waistcoats or vests I was able to sort of do up the say 3 or 4 buttons. At the beginning, I was able to sort of do all of them up, and then slowly as my pregnancy progressed, I couldn't do up the bottom one, couldn't do up the next one, and kind of wore it more open. I didn't really get into the idea of having my whole belly out, which has been a trend over the last year or two, because I don't know if I just felt like, oh, I'm gonna look back at this and feel like icky, or I just wasn't confident enough, or maybe I needed to put self tanner, and this area was looking very pale with my bump. I just felt awkward doing that. So that's a really, really popular thing, and people look amazing and they really put their bumps out there. And you know what, if you feel comfortable doing it, do it, because you're gonna look back and you might be like, oh, what was I thinking? Or you might be on the flip side of that and think like, yes, this was a period of my life which felt so empowering. It felt amazing. I was pregnant. Like, this is so rare. Like, I didn't, you know, you just feel so good looking back and feel so proud of what you did and your body. So, 2 schools of thought. Personally, I was like, oh, I don't know. Anytime I took photos of myself wearing the bump out, I was like, I feel weird. And you're going to get looks. I think that's the other thing, is it's like popular, but it's also not common. So people, if you go out and about to the shops and you're wearing your bump out, people are going to look at you. So that's something to bear in mind. If you are brave enough, or if you feel confident enough, go for it. Do your thing. But yeah, I wasn't really sure about that personally. But I will say that those vests were so helpful. And some of my favorite brands for those were, yeah, the Target ones were really, really good. Dish, I love the quality of the Dish linen vests. One thing I wanted to be able to wear this time around was jeans as long as possible. I didn't wear any last time from Maternity brands or low-rise ones or anything. So this time I really wanted to be able to find at least one good pair that I could wear for as long as possible. So I ended up getting a pair from Soon Maternity, an Australian brand. Then I got a very basic blue wash, wide leg, sort of low-rise jean. It has the elastic band at the back, but then it has like a normal front to it. I've still been able to wear them now right up until the end. I went with my normal size 8, which is size small, and they've been really, really comfortable. I'll be able to wear them again later. And I, you know, bonus, found that they matched one of my favorite oversized denim shirts. So I wore a double denim look a lot. I wore them with button-down shirts, cardigans, tops with a cardigan over the top. Like, I lent in and I wore them as much as possible, and they were great. So that was all I ended up getting from Soon Maternity, but they were beautiful, and I was very, very happy to have a pair this time around and have jeans as an option in my arsenal, in my capsule pregnancy wardrobe. Similarly to the stretchy waist pants, coming into summer, I've worn stretchy waist shorts quite a lot from either the brand Tiny Trove or Dish, and then a matching button-down shirt. And sometimes I wear the shirt open with a tank top underneath or a t-shirt underneath, and I just give myself some mixing and matching room with those. At the moment I've been wearing the shorts like lower under the bump, and then because the shirts are so oversized, that covers the bump over the top, or else I'll wear a tank top that's ribbed and stretchy and that covers long, and then you can't see the bump anyway. It's kind of hidden, or the skin anyway. Those have been great. So matching set is very, very versatile, whether you wear it with long pants or shorts, but particularly in summer. They are amazing, especially in cotton and linen. So Tiny Trove and Dish, 2 of my favorites. And I've actually got quite a lot of their sets now, and I love the idea that I can mix and match them. So my favorite black leggings for like activewear and just to wear every day are the Align leggings from Lululemon. I usually size up 1 to 2 sizes in those during pregnancy. I did last time, I did this time. I was still wearing the others from last time, even though they'd pilled a bit, because I've worn them to death. They're amazing. But yeah, I went 2 sizes up. They recommend like 1, but I knew that if I went 2 sizes up my normal size, I could wear them all the way through my pregnancy, because I had last time, and they still shrink back and look good when I'm wearing them normally as well. So they are fantastic, and they're great for running your errands, going for walks, doing any kind of activity, exercise wise, whether it's, you know, walks, yoga, Pilates, going for a run if you can do that while you're pregnant. I hugely leaned into them and loved them. So the Align Lululemon leggings, highly recommend. Size up 1 or 2 sizes and you will not regret it if you're going to invest in something. And I tried in my first pregnancy, I tried so many brands. I tried a lot, like a lot. I tried so many. And I tried the maternity ones that have like the section for the bump, and nothing compared. Either the fabric was off, the fit was off, there was like weirdly room at the bottom of the bump that would make it all bubbly and it didn't sit right, and that never looked good, or yeah, they just were not 100%. So scrap all of those. Up to you, try them on, because you might find something that you like. But for me, it seemed better value to buy something that I knew that I would wear again later, that I could wear through my entire pregnancy and that would carry me through and still hold up for years to come. The Align leggings from Lululemon, 10 out of 10. So much so that the other year I bought the Align bodysuit, which is just an all-in-one. It's the same legging half, but then it's also the Align tank top built in. And I think I could probably still fit that now in my normal size, because it naturally had more room in the bump area, or the belly midsection. So I have been wearing that one all the way through too. Highly recommend. So comfortable. You can chuck a shirt over the top, t-shirt over the top, or a button-down shirt. Go out, run your errands. It just feels so good while you're pregnant. So much so that I bought the Bump Suit, is the brand. Bump Suit onesie as well. I went with a size small in that one, and I really should have gone with an extra small, because it is roomy even now. Right at the end of this pregnancy is so much stretch over the bump and through the legs and everything. I found that it was probably a little bit too big on me, and it's also very thick. So that one is probably great if you are somewhere where it's a cold climate or in the snow. That one is like proper thick. I wore it the other morning when we went for a walk, and it was a hot day, and as it progressed throughout the day I was like, oh, I'm so hot in all this fabric. Whereas the Align one is thinner because it's just that single layer, it's not lined. But yeah, the two of those, brilliant. I have worn them throughout the entire pregnancies now, and yeah, particularly from 2nd and 3rd trimester. So comfortable, love them. They are great purchases. So Bump Suit is another one to look out for. I ended up getting a couple of pieces from that brand. I got a sort of sheer top that goes off the shoulder and a sheer skirt, and it's beautiful, but it was probably something I was thinking I'll wear for a special occasion, like a baby shower or going out to a fancy dinner. And in the end, I don't think I've actually really worn it, because I ran out of occasions and we didn't end up doing the baby shower. So yeah, that's probably one where I was like, I should have worn it sooner or made an occasion to wear it. I just bought it when I found it, again, off of Depop. This person had bought it for their baby shower, and then they'd worn something else on the day instead, so it was brand new. And I was like, oh yeah, I want to get this. I want to try it. But yeah, I never ended up wearing it, which is a shame. I think it probably still even has the tags on. I just took some photos of it, but I never actually got around to wearing it anywhere. But it's beautiful, and it's a style that I could potentially wear again, because their designs are for you to be able to wear them with a bump or without. So maybe I will wear it in the future anyway and make sure I get the most of it, or I'll just resell it on Depop. I highly recommend hiring something through a dress rental service. My friend has this brand, or has this website, All the Dresses, and they basically are a directory for all the dress rental hire companies Australia-wide. What you can do is go to All the Dresses website, look up your size, look up the brand that you like, or look up like their edit of maternity friendly clothing. So you can look up all of those things and you can see what is available to hire on specific dates, or just in general in your size, across all of those hire websites Australia-wide. I found that really, really helpful. So if you want to wear something once for a wedding or a special occasion or something, and you don't want to buy something new while you're pregnant that you're probably only going to wear once, maybe twice, that is such a great way to do it. So highly recommend All the Dresses, and I'll put some examples here of some of the dresses I wore that came from the All the Dress hire, because it was beautiful, like strapless but roomy linen dress from Oroton, stunning, and then another top and skirt set that I could wear. Either skirt was also wearable as a dress, the top, like, it was just really, really beautiful, and I think that's a great resource as well if you're trying to still dress in a beautiful gown for a special occasion, but save some money at the same time and not bring more clothes in that you're only going to wear once, then have to resell or give away later. One other maternity brand that I haven't discussed so far. Now, this was the main brand that I wore last pregnancy too, maternity brand. Now, this time around, I only got pieces from them really, really towards the end, I think from about 36 weeks. And then I think I chose things that were probably too warm for the weather. They're so beautiful. But yeah, I ended up choosing things that were more like knit based, or they were quite big on me. And I didn't get as much wear out of them as I would have liked to. I should have ordered them sooner. Maybe should have gotten some things in that order that were a bit more lightweight, because we just happened to go into a heat wave afterwards. But Lego Heritage is such a great Australian maternity brand. The quality is beautiful. Like if you order your normal size, most of them are designed to fit over a bump, but you can wear it again later too. The only thing I found with that brand is that the dresses and pants and skirts are quite long. I'm 163 centimeters for reference, and looking at the model, you can see like this much dress off the floor, and then on me it's like on the floor. So some of them ended up being like, I looked like I was covering head to toe in some of the dresses, and I love them, the quality is great, but I would really, if I was going to wear them again in the future, I would have to cut off like probably at least this much from the hem to make it look less conservative. Slip dresses, knit dresses or ribbed cotton dresses, potentially a slip skirt in satin or silk, low-rise jeans, maternity jeans, highly recommend, black leggings or whatever colour suits your palette, but I found the black ones more versatile, and in particular the Align leggings from Lululemon, wide leg pants with a stretchy waistband, either in satin or cotton or linen. So handy, so versatile, great for most of the year. I suppose you could find some woolen stretchy knit ones, stretchy waist ones as well for wintertime. Then basics like a blue or a white button-down shirt, ribbed tank tops, plain tees, a white t-shirt, an oversized white t-shirt, as your coordination items. And then the vests have been really, really great as well, especially to just like, you can button up what you can until you get to a point where you can't button them up anymore because the bump is too big. They were amazing. Outer layers, trench coat, blazer, woolen coat, wearing any of those oversized is really great. Knit cardigans, ribbed knit cardigans were really roomy, or just a knit jumper. That's basically the capsule. Those are the key things that I think if you have those in your wardrobe, you can achieve a lot of outfits without tearing your hair out trying to work out what will and won't fit. It basically takes you from beginning through to the end of your pregnancy. And on top of that, if you need anything for occasions, I highly recommend renting through a dress rental company, or finding something secondhand. There are ways you can stretch your dollar further without buying things that you're going to add to your wardrobe only to wear once or twice, or for a couple of months before you then have to get rid of them. But yeah, that summarizes what I've worn, how I've approached it, and I hope gives you a buttload of inspiration, because I feel like I've talked your ear off. I've given you something that you can then take away and apply to your pregnancy. It's such a special time, but it's also a time where, if you're anything like me, and I know I'm not alone, you struggle with your body image at times, and then other times you're like, oh my god, check me out, this is amazing, and you're always so grateful for what you're going through. But it can be challenging as well to work out how to find yourself within your style and your pregnancy when so much is new, so much is changing. There's so many other things that are thrown at you through hormones and all kinds of challenges through pregnancy. It's a very special time in your life, and one that, ideally you'd like to look back on and not think, what the hell was I wearing? You want to look back and be like, oh, look at that bump. Gosh, I look like I'm glowing and I feel like, I was just like a mama goddess or whatever. Those are the things you want to take away from looking back over that time. Not like, oh no, what was I wearing? And yeah, if you can find ways that make you feel good in that time, and get dressed quickly, get out the door, look after your kids, run off to work while you're still working, or just get to your appointments, all that stuff. Like, if I've been able to help you, I am so very happy with that, because yeah, it's a really tricky time. And you are doing amazingly, mama. It's not easy at all whatsoever. And it's so special. And so there's all this mix of emotions, but I am proud of you, and I hope that you are proud of you and you find something to wear and to feel amazing and reflect all of the amazing things that you're doing and who you are on the outside as well as on the inside. And this one and your little one love you, and they know how amazing you are. So if you can find a way that easily helps you feel like that on the outside and share that with the world, then I think that that's worth investing your time in, and I hope that you find that through your pregnancy. So thank you very much. I'm not going to talk anymore. Keep an eye out on my Instagram for updates of when this one is ready. It could be any time. I'm very excited. I can feel the movement. And thank you again for watching.